Okay, well, good evening, everybody. My name is Jules Kilker, and I first off want to start by saying thank you for coming on tonight and, um, you know, taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to some really amazing stories. Stories have the power to make you laugh, they can make you cry, but the best stories can ultimately change your life. And I want to start off telling you guys just a snippet of my story, which is why I'm here tonight. About 14 years ago, I was working as a restaurant manager. And I don't know if any of you have ever worked in the restaurant industry, but it is a tough gig. There's late nights, early mornings, lots of talking to people. You always have to be on your best social game every day. And it was taking a toll on me. I was slightly overweight. I actually was smoking. That was something that you just did in the restaurant industry. There's a lot of smoking and you take smoke breaks. And so, in order to get a break, you kind of had to be a smoker. I was drinking wine every night after work because in the restaurant industry, you're really, really wound up. And it almost was one of those things where you felt like to decompress at the end of the night, you had to have a drink. So, I was drinking daily. And I remember driving to work one day and being completely just distraught because I was, I think, 27 or 28. And I just thought, this is not the life I had pictured for myself. I did not want to be stressed out, overweight, smoking and drinking every day. What is actually going on? And so I was driving to work. I was talking to a friend of mine and I was crying. And mind you, this was what I went to college for. I went to college for restaurant management. And I walked in and I quit. I had no plan B. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was fed up. And it was just one of those decisions that changed my life for the better because I got out of the restaurant industry and I got into the fitness industry just by a series of interactions with people. And I started personal training. And I have to tell you, I loved it. I loved the fitness industry. There were so many things to learn, which I had obviously had to immerse myself in, but I did because I saw these people that were constantly on a quest to get better and healthier. And they just seemed to have this positive attitude, which I did not see in the restaurant industry. And so I absolutely fell in love with fitness. And I knew nothing about nutrition. So while I fell in love with fitness, I still wasn't finding myself to be any healthier than I was in the fitness industry or in the restaurant industry. I may have, stopped smoking as much, stopped drinking as much, working out more, but I wasn't seeing any changes physically to my body. My hair was falling out, actually. My nails were breaking. My skin, I had cystic acne, and I was extremely tired, like every day. I took a 3-hour nap every day. And so I remember thinking, this was about 14 years ago, about 1 year into my fitness journey. And I thought, man, I thought I was going to be the picture of health, and I wasn't. And that's when another coincidence happened or circumstance where one of my clients told me about something that could help with my nutrition. And it was called Juice Plus. And I don't know if you guys know what that was, but it is fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And when I learned about Juice Plus, I have to tell you, as a trainer, I was super skeptical. There were products that came and went all the time. And I had one stint with Hydroxycut that left me really kind of shaky about supplements in general. And so I was very skeptical. However, there were a few things that set Juice Plus apart for me. And I said yes to Juice Plus that day, but I didn't know when I said yes to Juice Plus, I said yes to this healthy living community that changed my life forever. And I have to tell you, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for that product and for that community. I don't know where my health would be. I don't know where my husband's health would be. I don't know where my children's health would be. And I don't know where my physical, my mental, and my emotional health would be, because this community has provided all those things. And so with that, I want you guys to hear my friends' stories. And you know what? I hope that you guys maybe laugh, I hope you don't cry, but if you do, I think it's going to be a good cry. And I hope that you hear something tonight that can change your life for the better. So I am going to start with Bridget, and I'm going to ask you guys all the same question, if that's okay. And I just want to ask you, what was the turning point in your life that made you start looking at health in a different way?
Hi. Okay, so I'm Bridget, by the way, mom of three. I live in Maryland. And I think what made me start was pure frustration over my health. As a kid, I was sick all the time. And as an adult, I was still sick all the time. And then I had kids and I was still sick all the time and they were getting sick. And I was so frustrated. And I didn't know what to try. And I didn't know anything about nutrition. I knew doctors and prescriptions and over-the-counter meds. And I was trying all of those things. I was seeing an allergist. I was on antibiotics, like way more than I wanted to be. And I just was really sick and tired of it all. And I had no idea that nutrition even played a part. Like, I know I was supposed to eat to be healthy, but I had no idea that what I was eating was affecting how often I got sick, my sinus infections, my allergies. So it was kind of, I had already had three kids and it was just, I was stressed out and tired. And I thought something has got to change. And that's when Jules had mentioned this great way to get better nutrition into my body, get fruits and vegetables that were really simple and easy. But I thought she was crazy. So I was stubborn and I didn't even bother looking into it because I thought that's fruits and veggies. That's not my problem. So, but she just kept every once in a while, like, I don't know, maybe this will help. And I just got so stressed out to the point where I thought I'll try anything. So I decided to add Juice Plus, into my diet and like into my daily routine. And it has made a huge world of difference. I can't even imagine still being where I was 7 years ago.
Yeah, I love that. And just from my end of this story, Bridge is my sister-in-law, but at the time I was just dating your brother. I was like, I think I was just dating him, but I was like, your sister's stinking stubborn, man. She's sick all the time. I don't understand why she won't listen to me. So it's hard to watch the ones you love not feel well and know that there's something they can do.
But yeah. I had no idea, like, because I didn't know. So I just thought this thing that she's trying to tell me about, just, it doesn't make sense because I didn't know how food affects our health.
And you don't know what you don't know. And normal is normal to you. Sometimes you don't realize that there's a better way of life. Okay, so I'm going to ask Doug the same question. What was that turning point for you?
Well, it's funny that that Bridget was talking about you like you don't know, so like I don't know how everybody else grew up, but in my family and with my friends and stuff, like as a young guy growing up, like I graduated high school in like the 80s and we were just loving life and eating whatever we want and eating chicken wings and McDonald's and all this stuff. And then you go to college and then it's like, in college you're broke, so you're eating like cheap, crappy food, but then you're also figuring out where all you can eat places are and you're drinking beer and stuff. And it's like, you get out of college, you start working in a career. I was a school teacher and then I became a school administrator. And in the classroom, I was a school band director. So I was really busy. I had marching band and all this other stuff, extracurricular activities. Plus I was working on a master's degree at the same time. So again, my head was down. I was just working and doing what I thought everybody else does in life. And that is you just eat whatever, and it's not really a problem when you're like a kid or something. It doesn't seem like a problem. I was in pretty good shape and stuff. I played some sports but over time, those like 2 to 5 pounds a year or something, it's like no big deal. Oh, I gained 3 pounds this year. Well, that's not a big deal until it's 20 years later and then it's 60 pounds, right? It's a big deal. So I found myself like in my 30s, not very healthy at all. I was run down, I was worn out. In my 30s, I have a picture of me with like all the sensors on me getting like a stress test in my 30s because I was having heart palpitations and stuff. Turned out I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, I was way overweight, and now all of a sudden it was catching up with me. But still, even with that happening, it's still, like Bridget said, it just didn't make sense. So I just did what they typically they tell you to do. Here, take this medicine, and then like just keep on grinding and working on your career. Well, my wife was introduced to Juice Plus, and she started getting a little bit healthier. She had great results and stuff, but again, I was just focused on my career and stuff. And she even started sharing Juice Plus as a business, and she was doing pretty well with it. But to me, it just seemed too simple. Like, well, how is fruits and vegetables going to change this blood pressure thing? And my mom was like, well, it's hereditary. Your grandfather had this. Your dad has this. And well, I got to be 40 years old, and we were having an unexpected child. And our little bundle of surprise came along. And I was like, dang, I'm going to be 60 when she's 20. And it's like, I'm not even going to make it that far. You know, I was at least 60 pounds overweight, maybe 80, and my blood pressure and cholesterol were still high. So I decided to make some changes. My wife had already been making the changes. She was already involved in this community. And so I started to get more serious about my health. I started to take my Juice Plus, not just when she forced me to, but I started to take it regularly. I started to switch out instead of having a bagel for breakfast, which seems totally normal. I mean, it's what the marketers tell us we're supposed to have, right? I stopped going to Dunkin' and all that stuff, and I started having the Juice Plus shakes for breakfast. Well, that combined with the fact that I was now getting into this community, I was getting more fruits and vegetables. I was eating better meals. I was involved in this community where I was learning all these different things from all these awesome people that are really knowledgeable, and even doctors and people like that. Over time, I've been able to make those changes and, not have to be on medications, able to lose weight, able to feel better. And that's the thing, like, you don't have to feel run down. You don't have to feel terrible. You don't have to be too tired to play with your kids. Food is fuel. So if you put better fuel in your body, you get better results. Your car goes better. And I can't believe I took so long to figure this out, but you could not take away the Juice Plus from me now because it's been such a game changer in my life.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, first of all, I want to just interject and say both stories so far, it's been like somebody that has really made an impact. Bridge, for you, it was me. And for Doug, it was his baby girl. Like, there's always somebody involved in a great story that really can change the path of the direction. And so I mean, don't you guys think, like, what if that wasn't my path right now? Where would I be?
I don't even think I'd be alive. Honestly, my wife used to say, you're a heart attack. She would cry and say, you're a ticking time bomb, and it still wouldn't change anything. I was just hard-headed, thank God I changed.
But thank God she didn't give up, and I didn't give up on Bridge. Okay. So I want to ask Kim the same question because I absolutely love these stories. I hope you guys are too. So Kim, what was it for you? Oh, you're muted.
I'm kind of laughing at Doug's story because he's talking about being broke and eating all the bad things in college. And when I turned 18, I couldn't wait to cook my own food and buy my own food because my mother was not a good cook. And I was so tired of meat and potatoes or burnt toast or whatever it was. So I think that nutrition has always, and health has always been a part of my life since at least the time I was able to buy a membership to a gym and buy my own food. So that's always been at the top in my mind and part of my fitness and just nutrition and fitness. But also I think the turning point for me, the most recent turning point was the pandemic, because I had heard about the Tower Garden in the past, And I had heard of Juice Plus in the past, but being a dental hygienist, I was extremely skeptic of Juice Plus mostly. And the Tower Garden, I have a black thumb. I don't have a green thumb. So I was never interested. But when the pandemic came along, and I remember I was in a grocery store at Sprouts, and I was in the produce section, and there was a sign at the produce section, and it said, "We cannot be responsible for the condition of our fruits and vegetables." And that all had to do with the supply chain. And I just kind of stood there and I was like, wait, what? So it really disturbed me. And I thought, this is really happening. And so I went home and I got online and I looked up the Tower Garden. And I started doing my research, and I thought, this is what I need. This is really what makes sense to me. So I bought it, and I started growing my own lettuce and kale and basil and all of that stuff. And it's like my garden is on fire with lettuce now. There's no shortage of salad in our house at all. So I think that was the turning point for me for the nutritional aspect recently. And from the Tower Garden, I've been reintroduced to Juice Plus again. And it's had nothing but positive effects on me and my family.
I love that. I saw a funny meme the other day that said, "I'd like to thank romaine lettuce for taking a break from trying to kill us while the world is crashing apart." But it's true, because isn't there always a listeria, whatever outbreak, romaine, like every couple of months? And so with the Tower Garden, what's neat about the Tower Garden is you get to be in control of your food. And it's just so, I just love your story so much. And I love the difference in like Doug and Kim's story, but still having to come to a conclusion where something has to change. There has to be a change. And so I'm going to ask you guys my next question. And first of all, we've all kind of alluded to Juice Plus being a huge part of our nutrition / health journey. But I do want to say, Juice Plus is not a magic pill, but Juice Plus has been the catalyst that has helped me make many impactful health changes. And I think that has been the case with all of you guys. And most of the people that I know that I share Juice Plus with, it's like Juice Plus has the power. There's so much power, plant power packed in these little capsules. And I think, like Doug said, it's almost too simple. It's almost too easy. We underestimate the power. But just imagine if you were flooding your body with fruits and vegetables every day, what that could do to your physiology, your DNA, your actual makeup every day. And so I don't want you guys to miss that. Like, there's so much power in fruits and vegetables. So I just want to ask, there was kind of a turning point before you guys said yes to Juice Plus, but why did you say yes to Juice Plus? What did Juice Plus actually why did you say yes, and what has it done for you so far? And I'm going to ask Kim that first.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So like I said, the Tower Garden was the door that opened for me and introduced me to Juice Plus. And I started to research it. And as a dental hygienist, I was very skeptical, but the research, it spoke for itself. And so, it was the pandemic, and all I wanted to do, I was looking for things to boost my immunity. Mm-hmm. So when I saw all the research and how easy it was, and basically, bridging the gap, I knew I wasn't getting all my fruits and vegetables. And so that's really what made me decide to take Juice Plus. And then turning and looking at as like a whole family. Now I have a 21-year-old, but I also have a teenager, and like they're never home. So try to get them to eat a healthy meal every day. It's not happening. Mm-hmm. So at least I know that when they take their Juice Plus, they're getting something because I know that what their diet is like. And no matter how hard I try to lead by example, but it doesn't work. They're teenagers. And so, but they do, I have to say, they do go for their Juice Plus every day. They don't miss it. And my My one is 21. He's in the Navy and he's deployed. And before he took off for his deployment, he wanted to make sure that he had his Juice Plus so that he would be healthy. And he swears he gets his gains from Juice Plus too. So
That cracks me up. I love that. I think one of the biggest benefits of Juice Plus to me is peace of mind. You can't like buy peace of mind, but I get that from my family taking Juice Plus. Okay, so Bridge, tell me, why did you guys say yes to Juice Plus? What has happened since?
So I finally said yes to Juice Plus because, well, one, I was just kind of in that moment of frustration and desperate because nothing else I tried worked. But Juice Plus had the research behind it. And when I learned that we were supposed to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, I was like blown away. I was like, oh, we're not doing that at all. I'm like happy if we get 2 lunch and dinner, So the research and the fact that it was so simple, I didn't have to change our diet. I didn't have to start making all these meals that I wasn't used to making. It was this very simple, easy thing that I could just take every day with a glass of water. And over time, though, I did start making changes in what we were eating because I plugged into the community and I tuned into different events like these and other events. I started learning about nutrition and how we eat can really benefit our body. And so I started slowly making small little changes along the way. So not only it kind of was that catalyst, like Jules had mentioned, that I started to feel good. I had the peace of mind that I was doing something good. I started to feel better over time. My energy was back. I wasn't getting sick. And then I was able to incorporate these like healthy changes very slowly, but over time, they all add up. So that was like the big reason. And then they have a great program for kids and families where kids can get their Juice Plus chewables for free when an adult orders. So with our kids, I started, I wanted my kids to start taking this. So we took advantage of the Family Healthy Starts program. So what's better than getting it for free? So then, I was hooked and it has made a world of difference. My kids hardly ever get sick. They get sick, but they recover so much quicker. They rarely need antibiotics. The eczema went away, the constipation improved, ear infection stopped. So we had all these great things trickle down and happen. So it's been easy and it works. So that's why I can't imagine without where we would be.
Okay, I'm just going to say 2 things. So one, we have the Juice Plus capsules. If you guys, hopefully you guys know, but it's fruit, veggie, berry, and omega capsules or gummies. Not the omega, but the fruit, veggie, berry coming gummies too. And then we have Juice Plus Complete Shake, which is like a full meal kind of powder. We do have an actual protein powder that's more based for performance and bars. But one of our friends, her son's teacher called the shake poopy powder because every time she would bring it to daycare for him and he would poop immediately after. And so I know we don't talk about poop enough. I think we should because that's a huge, huge problem in our country. And it's because we don't have enough fiber in our diet. And especially moms, because they're dealing with kids that are constipated and kids don't really know how to, obviously relieve that. And so we have now all these kids hooked on Metamucil and Benefiber, and that's actually bad for them. If you talk to doctors that know better, that's bad for them. And so anyway, I just love that. And I also want to point out the science behind Bridge saying like, I felt better and all these things. When you take a fruit and vegetable supplement like Juice Plus, it's called metabolic reprogramming, which is what happens to your body. So while you probably craved bad foods before Juice Plus, you're getting 30 fruits and vegetables into your body, into your bloodstream every single day. And that's like feeding your cells what it actually needs and wants, and your body actually starts to crave the good stuff. And so metabolic reprogramming, your body starts craving good things. And that's why we call it the catalyst or the snowball, the health snowball starts rolling in the right direction. And so, if you guys ate 7 to 13 raw, organic, vine ripened, pesticide, herbicide free, non-GMO fruits and vegetables every single day, the same thing would happen. The problem is we can't, we won't, and there's just not enough now, like Kim said, that we don't have enough. And so anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there really fast. And Doug, I'm going to ask you the same question, just, why Juice Plus and what has happened since?
I think, I don't know, remember, well, I mean, obviously I kind of told my story of it being like a catalyst that I was frustrated like Bridget. I didn't know what else to do. We don't really get educated about this stuff. And when we do, it's usually somebody that was marketing something that maybe it's Weight Watchers or lean cuisines or something. But if you really know about stuff, if I knew now, then what I know now, it'd be a no-brainer, but I think I went to some education events. Not only was my wife learning a lot, but as she started to have more success financially in the Juice Plus business, I was trying to be more supportive. So I would go to events, and one time I went to a conference with her and I got to meet people like Dr. William Sears and other people like that, kind of big time doctors, and got to hear a lot more about the power of, it almost seems silly now. I guess there's a part of me that still doesn't believe it, that literally fruits and vegetables can literally save your life or something, So, that's why I decided to take it, and the truth is, like, a lot of products out there you don't really know what it's going to do to you. I remember when my wife was pregnant with that baby girl and the doctor said, here, take this prenatal. Well, she knew a lot because she's involved with Juice Plus about research and stuff. And she has a couple of masters in that area. And she's like, well, can I see the research on this? And he's like, I don't know. The doctor had no clue. Call the company. So she calls the company, says, no, we don't have any research on the product. And it's like, how can you not have research on the product? Or a lot of times they'll have a product, like let's say there's apples in Juice Plus, and then a company might say, oh, well, there's apples and the research shows that apples do this. Well, yeah, that shows what apples do, but what does Juice Plus do? Our research is actually product specific on humans, double-blind, placebo-controlled research, over 40 published studies that show the efficacy of the product. So it's not even rational to argue that it's not an effective product, because scientifically it is conclusive that it is. So that's why I decided to take it. And I have a lot of trust in it. And like everybody else has been saying, it kind of leads you down a road. The Tower Garden ones that were around when I started, but now I enjoy salads all the time from my Tower Garden. So it's like I've gotten even healthier being in this community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And I've watched your health transform over the years too. And it's been, I don't know, I get really excited when I see people change for the better, because when you have a better quality of life, that doesn't just affect you, that affects all your relationships. And that's like life-changing, Okay, so, and then Kim. Oh, no, I already asked you. Mm-hmm. You want to tell us again? Okay. One last question. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to put a big red bow on this presentation, and then we'll let you guys get back to your families. I know you guys want to go eat a big salad and go to bed. So, I think that I said this earlier, if it wasn't for one person continuously loving, dripping, checking in with you, you guys you might not have made those changes. And if you did make the changes on your own, you might not have stuck with it if there wasn't a community surrounding you. I forget, there was one quote I saw a long time ago, like, willpower or your change is really the sum of the community around you, the people around you. What are they doing? And if they're not doing the things that you need to do to be successful on your health journey, there's a big chance you're going to fail. And so when I said yes to Juice Plus products, I actually said yes to sharing Juice Plus as well, because I was broke. I know I was working as a personal trainer, but I didn't have enough money to get through each month. I was kind of like, using those credit cards and having trouble making ends meet. And when I learned that I could share this amazing gift of health with others and make a paycheck, it's like making an impact and while making a paycheck. And I said yes. There was no how, it was like the products. Like, how could I say no to something that's so good for me, scientifically proven? How could I say no to keeping this, to not sharing this, to keeping this to myself? It seems unethical to me. And so I said yes. And since saying yes to the business, what I didn't know is that I would get this amazing community. And so I have been so blessed by these people, and very blessed by the paycheck as well. So just really quickly, Bridge, why did you say yes to the Juice Plus mission of inspiring healthy living around the world?
Well, at first, I wanted my whole family to take this. And so I saw it as a way that I could share it with others too and earn some money so that my family could easily, like, my goal became, I just want to like get this paid for my family. And but in the world I was living at the time where I had babies and toddlers, like, moms were looking for simple solutions all around me. And I was just telling people about it and they wanted to know more. So it made sense. And I didn't have huge lofty goals, but I'm like, I just want to share this with my friends and my family and, and earn a little bit of a paycheck. And then, that grew over time. And now I can contribute, to my family, and this community has just been so great as far as, what I've learned and the support that, it's like none other. So it just all slowly, happened over time. But it was fabulous because everyone's looking for better health.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Is it okay if I say something real quick?
sure, who's that?
I'm Bridget was my supervisor when I used to work at the colleges, and she's such an inspiring person. And so now she's doing this. I just love her. I just like to say for a second how Juice Plus works when you have COVID. My daughter and I went to Denver and we got COVID within 2 or 3 days, and I almost died a couple of times down there. I had to be hospitalized. It was horrible. And one of the first things we were thinking when we were in the ambulance going to the hospital is we only brought Juice Plus for just the 3-day trip that we thought we were going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so we called someone that we didn't even know in Denver that sold Juice Plus, and she graciously brought it to us at the hospital. And I can hardly breathe, and I still had that Juice Plus over my little table that they pull up, to the bed. And I really, truly, I know it's not a miracle pill, but to me, it's a miracle pill to use for anything. And this was huge. And when we got released, I had to be there for a couple of weeks and use an oxygen meter flying home back to Washington, where I live. And my hair started falling out, and I mean, falling out in handfuls. And I just cried and cried, but I just religiously still took my Juice Plus, and it's still not like it how it used to be, but it's getting there and it's not falling out anymore. And I credit that to Juice Plus too. I really do.
Aw, I
Real
love
important.
that. Thank you for sharing.
You.
Yeah, I love that. We hear stories like that. We could probably be on here, and my brother's on here, maybe later he can tell his story, but we could be on here for hours hearing people's stories. But thank you for sharing. I love that. And thank God Bridget said yes so that she could share it with you. It's like a perfect example. Okay, so Kim, why did you say yes to the mission?
So for a couple of reasons, as a dental hygienist, after taking it and knowing what it could do for me, and like you said, when you buy Juice Plus, you're not just buying a product, you're actually a part of a community. So once I began to be part of the community and you see what Juice Plus can do for people, how it inspires people, how it just motivates people, you really take that to heart. And so you have that community that surrounds you. So you are kind of around, like, you are like the people that you hang around, like you were saying. And also as a hygienist, when I go over my medical history with my patients, they take tons and tons of medications. They don't even know what the names of them are. They half the time they don't know what they're for. And so, and I knowing what some of this medication or what Juice Plus could do for them, and I wasn't allowed to share with them, but knowing that it could, I made it a point to say that when I do have the opportunity to share, I really need to share, because it, maybe it's not going to make your cancer go away, but maybe your cancer won't be as bad while taking the Juice Plus. So it's kind of like that extra added insurance policy. And so for that, I really believed in the product. I wanted to share it. And then again, I have to go back to the science. I mean, the bioavailability and the fact that it can change your DNA, and you can change the DNA in your future generations is like, that's amazing to me.
Mhm.
So that's why I share.
I love it. And Doug,
Yes.
last but not least.
Not least. Thank you, Jules. Well, so the timeline on my story, like when I decided to start taking control of my health and taking responsibility for it, that was almost 15 years ago. So that was a long time ago. But so, and my wife was involved with Juice Plus and doing the business now for 22 years. So I had seen a lot. I've heard a lot of stories. I know what it did for my health and how it's impacted my life. It has truly changed my life. I feel like I should say that the reason I share it is because I want to share that gift with everybody. But I'm going to be transparent and real with you. I was building my career. I love it. I started a college program. I was able to build that up. It was successful. I'm a musician. I love making records with young artists and things like that. And I love all this it's kind of entrepreneurial, but I was in this educational and musical world. And what I saw going on in the Juice Plus world was like a company that has the best product on the market. It's innovating with new products that are awesome. Every time something comes out, it's awesome, yet there's still a limited product line. There's not a million products or something. We're in like 24 or 25 countries around the world. And as I got to know more and more people and saw not only my wife, starting to match my salary when I'm leaving the house working 12-hour days. I'm now like a school leader and stuff. I come home, she's in her pajamas still and making more money than me. I'm like, what's wrong with this picture? She has time freedom. She's going to mommy and me's and going to the park with the kids and things like that. And I'm away. I'm not seeing any of this. I'm not seeing life, So I was successful. And now I was healthier, so I was feeling good, but you look on at people that like have great opportunities in life, and I'm thinking, how does that happen? Well, I think you have to like take advantage of those doors that open for you in life. So I saw this as a door. There were some things that happened, my father passing away, and then a real close friend of mine that I worked with for several years. He just went to sleep one night and didn't wake up the next day. Totally unexpected. And I'll tell you what, that made me think, like, what is this really all about? Like, what dream am I building working for somebody else for 12 hours a day? So we decided to go all in for both of us to work together with Juice Plus. I had already been sharing a little bit and doing a little bit of the business, but decided to go all in. And I'll tell you what, it's like I've been to the promised land and it is good. I mean, working for yourself, being your own boss, there's challenges, but man, I love my boss. And guess what? If I want to take tomorrow off, go ahead, buddy, you can have it off. But I can also work right now. When we're done with this, I can work for another 3 or 4 hours if I want. I can do anything I want. It's amazing. It's a great company. I wish I would have figured this out sooner. And I'm excited the way some people are excited to like share the mission of health around the world. I think it's really incredible that by the way, it's only $52 to have a franchise with this $18 billion company in 24 countries. That seems like an opportunity of a lifetime. It almost just like fruits and veggies. It seems too good to be true. but it is true. It's the real deal. I know because the check comes in every day at our house, and that's how we live our life. It's amazing. So I love helping other people. I've always been a coach and a mentor to people, and I love helping people have a better life by having this extra income. And for some people, they might even desire it to become a full-time income. So that's why I do it, and I love it so much, Jules.
Aw, yay. That was the perfect ending. I don't really think there's anything else I can say, even though you guys know I probably could because I like to talk. But we are going to end the call. I am going to stay on a little bit longer after we end the recording. If you guys want to hang out, chat, hear some more stories. I know there's other people on here that want to share their story. But, you know, I really, again, thank you for being on tonight. I know your time is valuable, and I don't use that lightly. And so I hope that you got some value out of tonight. I hope that you heard something tonight that sparked something inside of you to make a change. And maybe it's to add Juice Plus. I don't know. I do think it's one of the best yeses we've said, and we've obviously already added it to our diet. And maybe you already have added it to your diet, like Bridget's customer. And I have to be honest with you guys, there is not enough people sharing the gift of nutrition or the education about the link between nutrition and disease. And that's evident by the amount of people you meet that don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And we just saw that. We didn't know either. And so I do think that it's going to take an army to change the health of our country around. And I think Juice Plus is doing that. And so you might want to join, you know, forces with us and help us. And, you know, we of course would love to have you do that as well. So that is it for tonight. I hope that you guys have an awesome night. Let me go ahead and stop this.